looking at the UNISA Theory of Music Grade 1, October 2021 paper. In question 1.1, we are asked to name the given notes. So yeah, I have it up on the board in orange, and I will go ahead and fill it in with black whiteboard marker. But do remember that when you fill in this exam, that you have to fill it in pencil, not pen, not colored pencil, not highlighter, but pencil, normal HB pencil. So we'll go ahead and start here. We have something that's below middle C in the treble clef. And those of you who play instruments that revolve around the treble clef, it'll be easy for you to know this and to quickly immediately pick it up, as well as if you play an instrument that revolves around the bass clef, you will immediately pick up those notes. It would be very easy for you. But if you don't play an instrument that has to do with the treble clef, for instance, maybe your instrument is bassoon, and maybe you've never had a real musical experience with the treble clef before, there is a system in order to work out the notes. So for instance, if this is now middle C, you just have to go backwards. B would be on the space below, and then A would be in the line. So this is definitely an A. With the bass clef, we also have a system, and you can count up and orientate yourself around middle C, because I'm sure whatever instrument you're playing, you know middle C in that clef that you use. So with bass clef, for instance, if you're now a flautist and you don't really have a lot of experience with bass clef, you can just think to yourself, oh, where's my middle C, which will be on that line. This little line would be middle C in the bass clef, like this little line would be middle C in the treble clef. And if we just count C, D would be the space, then E with a flat would be the next line. So we're going to go ahead and put in E flat. Then we have a B natural in the treble clef. You don't have to put the natural sign. You can if you want to, but not necessary. It's just a B. Then we have F sharp in the bass clef and G flat in the treble clef. Question 1.2 asks us to circle, that is draw a circle around the highest note. So why don't we go ahead and listen to these notes. So we have a D and a D sharp in the treble clef. D sharp would be the highest. Then we have an A flat and a G in the bass clef. Of course, A flat would be the highest. And then we have a B flat and a B in the treble clef. And of course, orientating yourselves around flats, naturals and sharps, we know that flats are lower than naturals, which are lower than sharps, and then vice versa, sharps are higher than naturals, which are higher than flats. So we'll go ahead and circle the highest note there, the highest note here. Don't let it fool you that it's a flat, that it's lower. It is higher because that note is an A flat. G is lower than that. And then the highest note here would be B natural. I just forgot the natural there, but that's B natural. In question 1.3, we're asked to write a rest or rests under each asterisk that they give us. Here we see there are 3 asterisks, but the question does count 5 marks, which means we'll have to put in 5 rests. So first things first, we have to look at our time signature to be able to know what we need to fill in and what's missing from each bar. So we're in common time here, which basically translates as 4/4. So we will have 4 crotchet beats in a single bar. So we need to make sure that we have 4 crotchet beat values in our bar. So here we go. I see I have 1 crotchet beat. There's another one. So first and 4th crotchet sorted out here. Something is obscure over here. So half of the 3rd one is there. So I can add that. So sort of that will fill up beat 3. And then we're missing our whole beat 2. So we can just go ahead and put a crotchet rest. Remember, not notes but rests. So we're actually adding 2 rests under this particular asterisk. The next one, we have a crotchet there, another crotchet there. So it looks like 3 crotchets are sorted. It's just our last beat that is incomplete. There's a quaver, which is half of a crotchet beat. So I just need another half of a crotchet beat, which in terms of rests will be a quaver rest. So only one rest under that asterisk. Then our next bar, we have a crotchet beat there, we have a crotchet beat there. So yet again, like the first bar, it looks as if the first crotchet and the last crotchet beats are intact. So we're just missing beats 2 and 3. Now, we can't go ahead and just put a minim rest there, even though a minim rest technically counts 2 beats and it will fill up the bar because we are missing 2 beats. But remember, we cannot group rests on beats 2 and 3 together because it will muddle up the middle of the bar. So we actually need to go ahead and outline the individual beats. So beat 2 and 3, so we'll need 2 crotchet rests there, 2 rests here under that asterisk, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total. So you should be getting your 5 marks there. In question 2, we are given a little musical extract, sort of a musical comprehension, and we need to answer questions based on what we're given. So first things first, we have a musical extract in the bass clef, and question 2.1 asks of us, name the key. So in grade 1, we only have keys up to and including 2 sharps and 2 flats. Over here we see 1 flat in the key signature, which tells us that it could either be F major or D minor, so we just need to make sure which key we're in. So we see that we're starting on an upbeat bar at C. The first bar itself actually starts on an F and the whole piece ends on an F. There are no weird sharps or flats in between in the piece or extract itself. So that alone gives it away. We are definitely in F major. Then we're going to go ahead and add the correct time signature to the block. We do see that we have 4 crotchet beats in a bar, so that is 4, 4. Then question 2.3, we are going to just fill in the letter name of the indicated notes. I don't know why they give such a long line when you just have to write a single letter name, almost like we did back in question 1.1. So we're going to go according to the Roman numerals that they give us. They don't give us numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They give us Roman numerals in small letters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 1, remember we are in the bass clef, so that is on the lowest line, that is a G. Number 2, F. Number 3, remember we are in F major, so it has a B flat. So don't just go ahead and say, oh, it's a B. Remember your key signature, B flat. Then number 4, we have a C, and number 5, E. In question 2.4, they ask of us, how many bars does this piece or extract consist of? And now we're not just going to go ahead and count every little rectangular block that we see, because remember we are in 4/4 time here, and the very first bar that we do see only consists of 1 crotchet. So that is not a full bar, that is an upbeat bar. And if you look right at the end of the piece, you will see a dotted minim, which counts 3 beats, so the 3 beats plus the 1 beat, they actually make a full bar. So basically your first bar will actually be where you have 4 full crotchet beats, the full value of your time signature. So in this extract we have 8 bars. In question 3 we're given yet another extract and yet another musical comprehension that we quickly have to answer questions about. 3.1, we have to fill in the missing bar lines. They tell us we're in 3/4 time. They do give us the first bar line, and as you can see they put it directly after a crotchet, which means that bar would be an upbeat bar. So from here on out, we're just going to see where every crotchet beat lies, and after 3 crotchet beats, we're going to draw a bar line. In question 3.2, we're asked to name the key of the piece. Right at the get-go, I do see a G sharp creeping up there. There are no sharps or flats in the physical key signature, so that leads me to believe A minor, C major, but because of that G sharp there, that is a raised 7, that leads me to think it's A minor, and of course the piece does end on an A, and the very first full bar starts on an A minor. Then we're asked to give a meaning of terms, so andante, at a walking pace, and mezzo piano, moderately soft. Question 4 presents us with yet another music comprehension, with another extract that we have to answer questions about. So 4.1, key. Here we do have 2 sharps. Remember, our keys can only go up to and including 2 sharps and 2 flats. So the key with 2 sharps leads me to think D major, and also in the treble clef, this is a little piano example, and in the treble clef in the final bar, I do see it going down to a D. This just confirms that D major. Then we're going to add the correct time signature, 2 crotchet beats per bar, and remember to fill it in both the treble clef rectangular block that they give you and the bass clef rectangular block that they give you. Then we're going to name the interval. Here in this grade 1, we only deal with thirds and fifths. So of course, when they're closer together, they're going to be a third. And just by visuals, if they're further apart, they're going to be a fifth. Right here, we have a D and an F sharp. That is a third apart. Question 4.4, we have to name the tone degrees, also known as the technical names of the notes that have been circled. So first things first, we have to know our key if we're going to get this right. And of course, we already identified our key as D major, so we're halfway there if we got that right. So the first one, we have an A. So A, how do we get to A from D? D, E, F sharp, G, A. That's up 5, and 5 we know is the dominant. So remember, technical names here all has to do with tonic, subdominant, dominant, tonic being the 1st degree, subdominant being the 4th degree, and dominant being the 5th degree of any given scale. So here we have an A in D major, that is the dominant. Then number 2, we have a D in D major, that's just the tonic. Then number 3, we have a G, and that is subdominant. Question 4.5, again, giving the meaning of following terms, and this sort of comes from the pre-grade 1 syllabus. They give it to you nice and easy, and it does count 2 marks each. So if you get it right, 4% for you. So we have mezzo forte, which means moderately loud, and piano, which means soft. Then 4.6, how many beats do the longest notes in the music example count? The longest note here is only a crotchet, so it counts 1 beat. Then they ask us sort of an application question. How must the notes be played? How must all the notes in the piece be played? And they all have staccatos indicated. So the notes must be played in a detached way or in a short way, in a staccato way. And the reason is because of the staccato dots that appear there, the staccato indications. On to question 5. So in 5.1, we are asked to write key signatures and also primary triads that they're asking of us here. So they do give us an example, so we're really just going to follow what they say and do. So key signature and then triad. And remember, primary triads only have to do with tonic, subdominant, dominant, 1, 4, 5. So anything else will not fly here. So they give us F major. And yet again, we refer to our question key signature, so we really need the key signature of F first things first. Key signature of F is just a B flat, so we have the first part done. Then we need to write the dominant chord. So what is our dominant in F? We count up 5 notes from F. C. So we're definitely going to start in a C, or we can, we can definitely start in middle C if we'd like. This part doesn't matter as long as the note names are spelled out correctly. So C, we're going to go up in third, C, E, G. That's our chord, or octave lower, C, E, G. Both will be correct, and you get a mark for your key, and you get a mark for your triad. Then we're in A minor. You already get a mark here for not filling in anything because A minor has 0 sharp, 0 flats. That is its key signature. Then A, B, C, D. The subdominant of A will be D, so we can start on a D, D, F, A, or of course we can go down an octave, D, F, A. Okay, then we have B flat major, the tonic. We first need to fill in our key signature, so B flat, E flat for B flat major. Then we're going to go ahead and put in our tonic triad. Of course, the tonic of B flat is just a B flat, so let's start on a B flat. So I'm just going to choose this one here, and we go up in thirds, B flat, D, F. There we go. In question 5.2, we're asked to do the exact opposite as 5.1. So in 5.1, we were asked to give the triads and the key signatures. Here they give us the triads and the key signatures, and we sort of have to label what they are. So yet again, we have to identify the triad and identify the key. So first things first, key, triad. Just like here, key, triad, key, triad. So let's first identify the key. They do give us an example, so we pay attention to that. But these are the questions. So first things first, they give us two flats, which could either be B flat major or G minor. Just remember that we're working with primary triads yet again. So it can only be on the first degree, the fourth degree, or the fifth degree of the scale. So first things first, let us just try the major and see if that works. So B flat major, dot, dot. So getting a mark for key, and then we're going to get a mark for our triad, for figuring the triad. So this is an E flat, so how do we get to E flat from B flat, C, D, E flat? That would be the subdominant. And yes, that is one of our primary triads, so we're not even going to go and see what it would be like in G minor. We're just going to say A for away. So if it was going to be in G minor, E flat is on the sixth. So that's something that we haven't dealt with yet. So immediately we can already discount G minor. Next, we have a key with 0 sharp, 0 flat, so either C major, A minor, but I'm already seeing something being raised. So that already triggers that, oh, this is a minor key. It is A minor, and that is a G sharp. I know that is the 7th degree of A minor, so it's A minor. And of course, at this point, the only chord that's going to have our leading note in it, or our 7th degree, our raised degree, will be our dominant. So anything that actually has an accidental in it, whether it is a natural or a sharp at this point, it'll be the dominant in a minor key. Then we have a key with 2 sharps. We're just going to go ahead and already put in D for D major. And then what is G in D major? D, E, F sharp, G. That is subdominant, and we'll fill that in. Remember, in major keys, we have to fill it in as capital Roman numerals, and the dominant will always be major no matter where you are. If we're on the tonic or the subdominant of a minor key, those will be indicated with small Roman numeral letters. In question 6, we're firstly asked about scale. So 6.1 is all about scale writing. And here you can get any of your keys, yet again, up to and including 2 sharps or 2 flats. Pay attention to the question. They do ask us to write with key signatures. So we're going to be writing our key signatures right at the beginning next to our clef, and not put in the key signatures themselves in front of the notes. Okay, so first things first, we have G major. They ask us ascending and descending. Pay attention to that as well. And this is in the treble clef. So we're going to go ahead and put in our key signature for G major, which is an F sharp. Now we can just go ahead and write our 8 notes up and then come down again. Remember to be very systematic about this. Starting on G, moving your 8 notes up. Just put a note on each line and each space till you reach the next G. And then we're going to come back down again as the question asks of us. Then no need to add anything there. We already have our key signature here. We just need to go ahead and indicate our semitones, which they do remind us of. We indicate it with a slur. In a major key, semitones lie between 3, 4 and degrees 7 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So remember, if we're descending, that we still start at the lowest note, counting up to see where our scale degrees lie. Then next one, we have A harmonic minor in the bass clef. So we're definitely going to start on A. A minor does not have any sharps or flats. It has a key signature of 0 sharp, 0 flat. So we're just going to go ahead and start on A, starting on the correct note in the bass clef, and go up our 8 notes. And if you're not sure if you skipped any lines or spaces, just make sure, okay, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line. Good, and we have 8 notes, that's great. Then remember, in a harmonic minor, you need to raise the 7th. and the 7th is over here, second last note, and that will become a G sharp. Then we need to put in our semitones. Semitones in a harmonic minor key lie between 2, 3, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. So you'll have to put in 3 slurs there. Then lastly we have B flat major. This will be in the treble clef descending. So make sure of that. Don't write it ascending, write it descending, because you will lose marks if you don't pay attention to the question. So B flat major has 2 flats. I put in my key signature. I'm going to start here at this B flat there and just go down my 8 notes. I am going to fill in semitones, and yet again with the major key between degrees 3, 4 and 7 and 8. This is degree 1, so start there. 1, 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then in question 6.2, we are asked to give the meaning of terms yet again. These are more grade 1 terms. So anacrusis, we have upbeat, presto meaning fast, and then del segno, which means from the sign. Our very last question here is 6.3, and this all has to do with Solfa notation. So what they're always going to do is they're going to give us the Solfa notation, and we have to transcribe it into staff notation. So we have to put our music onto the musical stave, and they will always give us a key, otherwise we won't know what to write. So they say Do is F, which means our tonic is F, which means we're in F major. So we definitely have to go ahead and put in our key signature. So F major's key signature is a B flat. Yay. Next we have to put in our time signature, and with a colon separating each beat we can sort of see how many beats we have. In this level, grade 1, we will only be asked to write in 2/4 or 3/4. So if you only have a single colon separating beats, I can see one beat and I can see another beat. So we're definitely in 2/4 time. Yes, I'm going to go put that there. This is very important, to write your key and then your time signature. Then we are given our Solfa notation. It will be good to go ahead and write down your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and also maybe underneath it sort of what your notes would be in your key. So in F major, what would it be? It would be F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So that will give us an indication of which notes we need to write. So fa is the 4th degree of the scale, and in F major, our 4th degree is a B flat. So we can just go ahead and put in our crotchet B flat there. We don't need to add a flat directly in front of the note because it is in our key signature. And the reason why we know that this is a crotchet beat is just because there is a single letter, a colon, and a single letter outlining the 2 beats in 2/4. So it will be one crotchet and another crotchet. So our first crotchet B flat, then our second crotchet, it is on So, which is the 5th degree, and the 5th degree in F major is a C. So I'm going to go ahead and put a crotchet C there. Our last bar consists of a Do, and it also, after the colon, just has a line, a dash. And this means that the note is continued or held over. It doesn't mean rest. A rest will just be indicated by an empty space. There's actually a little line here. It's not empty, so it means this will be carried over into the next beat. So that means we will just have a minim beat Do. So that'll be F. Only after write 3 notes here, the question consists of 8 marks. So you really need to pay attention for your key, your time signature, your correct notes, but also pay attention that your stem directions are doing well. That if anything happens to be on the middle line, that you can put your stem up or down, either way. And then if anything is above the middle line, that your stem has to go down. If your note is below the middle line, your stem has to go up. So remember that. And remember to always play from original music and to make your mark on original music sources.